Welcome to the Inner Room with Out of My Damn Mind. This is the space where walls fall away, where stories don't just get told, they land. Messy, real, and alive. Here, writers open the door to what drives them, what haunts them, and what keeps them going. Every voice has its own rhythm, its own scars, and its own sparks. And together we trace the threads that hold us, break us, and connect us all. And I'm so glad to finally connect with IMI. Merv? Merv? Oh, we love Merv.
Call me Imi.
Me. Okay.
Imi.
Imi?
Yes,
Imi?
Imi. Yes, Imi.
That's like what you guys, like what you call her?
That's what like everyone in my life calls her, like both Substack in my life. Just like,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, now I feel like I know her on a whole different level. Well, thank you all for joining. Bobby, thanks for joining in. So in November, I allowed my co-host to pick the numbers. So obviously I come up with 20 questions for my curated co-host. So if you want to pick, you could pick, or I can just ramble off the way that I want to ramble them off. It's up to you.
I think ramble them off.
Ramble them off? All right. Well, we'll go nice and easy, okay? When did you first realize you were someone who feels the world more intensely than most?
I think I could say from the day that I was born, or maybe like the day I gained consciousness, because for me, I felt all of my emotions very deeply, whether it was sadness, whether it was anger. But like whenever I got angry, I would see my hands trembling. And whenever I was sad, tears will fill up in my eyes so easily. And so many times that I found that embarrassing because it was like mostly, sometimes even at some stuff that didn't deserve that kind of a reaction. So I would look up at the ceiling so that people wouldn't see my tears. And whereas in positive feelings as well, I would always get so easily excited. I'm a bit of a bubbly person, so people tend to say that I'm a cheerleader. So I guess that's the nice part. So generally, since I like had known myself, I've always felt all of the emotions on a extremist level.
Do you like, I know we talked about like labels and we don't like them, but would you consider yourself an empathetic soul?
I think yes, but like not to a greater extent. Because the original answer that would come to my mind would be to say yes, but I think up to a certain extent, if I'm answering honestly, I try to empathize with people, but there are situations that I could be biased as well. So I think I'm like all of us are human, and sometimes I cannot let my judgment get in the way. But I try to refrain that as much as I can. So I think I'm up to a certain extent empathetic, but more of a self-aware person who realizes that her patterns are intervening, and then like whenever I build on that, that's when I start to write about stuff like that I've been experiencing that is due to my judgment, and then how it changed because of my awareness.
I think you're a rare breed, my friend. I'm literally so thankful to be able to like just share space with you. Even virtually, I love it because I think I'm an empathetic soul in the sense of I feel like I feel what others feel in the room. So and growing up and being unaware of that being like a superpower and not like a downfall, I used to just think that what I was feeling was me feeling it, even if I didn't know why I was feeling it. And it would overwhelm the crap out of me. And I kind of like broke a little when you said that like you would look up when you had like tears because you don't want anybody to see it. Isn't there a weird shame that comes with tears?
I
Like,
think so.
right? Isn't that like weird that we have like this shame like to not cry? So I have publicly
Yes.
broken down on this show quite a few times. So I don't even at this point I literally don't care. I'm always just like whatever I'm feeling, you're gonna see it. And yes, I've always been that heart on my sleeve, open book type of thing. And I am for the first time like just allowing it to be instead of like hiding it per se. So wow, I appreciate you.
I think like what you just described is like a true version of resilience and strength. So I believe like that's like, how we were talking about labels before. I like the societal version of labeling strength and being resilient is to like be strong all the time, like don't not show your emotions to other people, not cry in public. But I think the real strength is through embracing your vulnerability and not being afraid to show it. So like I can relate with your experience a lot because since I was a child, I would cry everywhere. I wouldn't care. Like if I was like on the stairs, if I was at the mall, I would just cry. And my mom is like a more self-constrained. She's like a cold-blooded person, so she's always just like warn me, get mad at me. She's like, "Can you stop? People
You're
are looking."
embarrassing me.
I was like, I don't care. They don't know me. And what if they knew? Like, I think like we have to accept our vulnerabilities as much as we do, our strongest areas and personal aspects, so that we can be whole.
I love that, and I love that you said that, and I love that you knew that about yourself so early on too. Like that is
Well,
not everybody's like situation. Just so you know that. So again, like I said, I'm in the presence of a rare breed, and I'm so
no,
excited. I just wanted
I
to
can't.
welcome. I wanted to welcome in the mom unfiltered Billy Bumbo. We love you too, obviously. I don't. What did you tell me you wanted me to call her?
Meme,
I've
I
already
guess. Imi.
Emi. Yeah, I've already forgotten. See, look, uh,
Yeah, I
Emi,
would. Yeah.
Priya, Rebecca, Leah, Jason, thank you all for coming. We are just getting started here, and if you're new here, this is the place where I invite a co-host and I curate 20 questions specifically to them. So we're gonna move on to question number dos.
Okay.
And I don't have the cool accent in this conversation, just letting everybody know.
I don't think my accent is cool. Do you think so? I want
I
to
love
give
it.
you really. I'm like I've been feeling a bit insecure of my accent actually. So I love you for saying that.
No, I love that this platform allows me to connect with people I wouldn't normally see on my day to day. And literally, I am from New York. And if anybody knows where IMI is, she's based out of London. So this is very cool to be able to do something like this.
I love you,
Um,
Elijah, for saying that. He just called my accent badass.
because it is. We know this over here, okay? But what emotion are you currently trying to make friends with instead of fighting?
Hmm. Do you think numbness is an emotion?
So I mean, as somebody who has lived a lot of their life numb, I do feel that way. Yes.
Okay, so I would say I'm trying to make my peace with feeling numb because, like, all my life, I've been so on top of my things, all of my responsibilities, tasks. I would never procrastinate. I would just jump onto things to finish them so that they wouldn't weigh on me.
Mhm.
I used to be so responsive to people, to text everyone, everybody. And now in my life, I'm in a state where I just cannot force myself to do anything at all. Even if I'm going to make ChatGPT write my email, like even that like copying and pasting and saying that write this email thing, even that like even that feels like a burden. And the part that I'm trying to make my peace with is the part that I don't care. I don't care right now in my life if I'm not doing the things that I'm supposed to do. I don't care if I answer to people's texts back in like sometimes it can be quite a long duration. So I am trying to make peace with the fact that I don't care because that's the not caring part, being numb towards that situation part is kind of disturbing me. Because then I feel like I'm acting out of character. I feel like I'm ruining my life. I feel like I built this system, like, and whatever I've done for the past 27 years is for me to just not care now. But like, I think I enjoy that state, but I'm trying to make my peace with it.
So I feel like your perspective about it is quite interesting because when I hear it, what I hear more is not that you don't care, but that you care more about yourself and your peace and your time, and you're more protective of how you share it, spend it, utilize it. So I don't think that it's that you don't care. I think it is that you just happen to finally care more about you than everybody else, and as you should. And at 27 years old, I'm going to give you a round of applause because I didn't figure that out until now, 36. So, I think, it is very rewarding to hear, especially when people are younger than me, that they've reached something that I'm like, I just got there, but I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, man.
You're so legend. But thank you so much for offering that perspective. By the way, I never look at it that way. Like I like that. I will adopt that now. Thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to help you kind of shift. That's literally what I'm all about. I'm all about shifting perspective, and there's a lot of people that have come into my life to help me look in a different lane. Like we always say, the coin has two sides, but life has like a billion sides. It's a Rubik's cube. Like there's
Yeah.
so many different ways to look at something. It's just wherever you're at this current time. Uh,
I was
You
just
want to read it?
smiling at the comments. I just wanted to say something because that what you just said made me realize something. When you said that you're at a space, like a place in your life where you care more about yourself, maybe it's not the numbness aspect that I am trying to settle myself into, but caring about myself because that's not something that I haven't usually done in my life. So I am trying to accept being nice to myself and like being putting myself in the priority shoes.
I love how I'm glad that so many people were here to witness this too, because we just saw in real life,
In
IMI literally
reflection.
switch their perspective and understand what she's actually been dealing with. And I fucking love that. I fucking love that. All
So
right.
that's how my brain works, guys. Like that's how it's like, yeah.
But that's how everybody's brain works, and
Yeah.
until you get somebody else that can show you a different side of the fucking Rubik's Cube, you're literally stuck in this thought process, and it's not that it's wrong, 'cause
Yeah.
no way that we think is wrong, it's just sometimes we need a little help to be able to shift it. But
Direction, definitely.
Emmy said, "So relatable." Pancake Sushi said, "Guard your time, it's precious," and I 100%, believe that. Wounds and Wings said, "Loving it." Eric's Corner, thanks for joining us. Hello, hello. And obviously, Wounds and Wings said, "I Maya is always sweet." She is sweet, isn't she? And
Aw.
she's just learning how to be sweet to herself. Look at that. She deserves it too. She deserves it too.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, I love that. What's something you used to chase, but now you let come to you?
Guys.
Amen. We don't chase, we attract, right? That is the motto.
I like used to. I'm just gonna admit and confess this live. I used to be such a chaser, like, like nothing at the like. I just like because if I wanted something, I would always say to myself like, why don't I just go and get it? And that, in a certain extent, was a good point. Like I would always live my life however I wanted to, not based on like expectations or like how it should happen. But I don't do it now to just not chase, but to attract. But this is just like a more of an internal process. I just maybe like Substack really helped with that because I'm just gonna say this: writing on here and engaging with all of you and having all these powerful and meaningful conversations made me feel so validated, and that I learned something in my counseling class. So there's like two locuses of evaluation, whereas one is internal and other is external. So like for me to have those engagements with romantic partners was my external way of validating myself, which always made me a lot more vulnerable than I was. Because as we all know, like one thing that we cannot have any control over is other people's actions. And if you tread your emotional patterns onto that, your emotional responses, that's just like, and I'm an anxious attached person, so put yourself in my shoes. And
I
like,
live it every day. Live it every
yeah.
day. Hmm.
So when I started to write on Substack, I like my writing is or has always been something internal, and seeing these reflections that people write on my pieces, seeing all the engagements, even the conversations on notes, I would prefer 100 more times to spend the night in or going on Substack to like go on a date with someone. So just generally, I owe it to writing and this platform and all of you guys. So yeah.
You said so much there that I feel like you were naming, and like I promoted this live. I felt like this was going to be very much me sitting with a mirror, and that's how I feel every co-host is. I can always learn from you guys, but I am also anxious attachment. I'm obviously moving into my era of secure attachment because I understand that everything that I have, everything within me is all that I need, and I don't need somebody else to add to that, like to make me whole. I am already whole, but to live a life with a lot of anxious attachment, and I was definitely the one that was like my ex fiance literally, I don't know, for like 2 months, she didn't wanna date me at all, and in my head, I didn't take it as like, "Okay, well, then maybe this isn't the person I should be with." It was more of, "Ooh,
Person.
what a cool challenge. I'm gonna fucking wear the shit out of
Yes.
this bitch, and she's
Yes.
gonna say yes eventually." And it's just like to go from, like, begging people to see me and to be with me to if you come, you come, and when you come, I'll be here ready. Is just like a completely different extreme, and that was literally my life. It was just like, oh, you don't like me? No, that's impossible. I'm gonna make you like me. Watch. And it was just like a marathon race that I was with myself. It was fucking ridiculous.
Especially like as like you mentioned that you're a perfectionist too, so that makes it like a double intense maybe sometimes. Because then like when you as I've always said to myself, like when I realize those patterns, as well as when you are a perfectionist, every failure, and you see that as either a failure or a disappointment when someone reacts toward that in that way as your ex-fiance did to you, you don't take it as like a third person perspective and say this is about them, but you take it as a failure onto yourself, and then that makes like a deeper wound sometimes, like I guess I just
Well, I think when I this year have been reflecting on my Florida days, it had definitely highlighted a childhood wound that I wasn't aware was so prevalent in my everyday life.
Mhm.
And, I am the oldest child. I have one sister, but me and my sister are 19 months apart. And I kind of felt like the moment she arrived, it wasn't about me anymore. It was about her. And it was like, I didn't even get 2 years with my parents
You're
before
so
something
right.
else took the attention. So it just always felt like I was like asking for attention, wishing for attention, like begging for my parents to love me because there was this other thing that it was so it was just like that wound was very obviously prevalent in the way that I approach dating and finding love. And that's why I'm not married and I have a failed engagement. Yes. But real quick, back to the comments. Wounds and Wings said, yes, your conversations are always heartfelt. And of course, Emmy's laughing at me because, who wouldn't? I mean, just kidding. Not laughing at me, laughing with me. John and Queen's Addiction, thanks for joining. Whew, time is already flying. I need to pause it. Like, why are we going so fast? Like,
I wish we had like a half an hour more. I would do this every day.
well, I joke around. I was like, I literally schedule an hour every week to sit down with somebody because yeah, I wanna highlight you guys and your writing and people to get to know you on a more
Yeah.
personal level, but it's also selfishly for me, like, I spend a lot of time with my dog, so to have conversations with another human is always enlightening, so I really appreciate you joining me here today.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you to having me here. As like it's a pleasure, of course.
Anytime, literally
And
any
I just like to say, I like what you said about the dog. Like I live alone, and I get the need for talking. I love talking to myself. I'm just gonna say it. My favorite thing to do. I love talking to myself.
It has definitely become a really good hobby of mine, and because I have a dog, I just say that I'm talking to my dog, but we all know
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking to me. We all know that.
That's
Um
what the cool kids do now. Yeah. So
Yeah, literally, I was like, "Okay, we woke up, we're 2 weeks fully sober," and my brain was on fire this morning. I was singing, I was laughing, I was doing a whole bunch of weird fucking things, and I looked at my dog and I was like, "I know, your mom's crazy." So
yeah.
um
Imagine those prompts you say to yourself when you're alone. Like I nag, I say compliment myself.
I do sometimes catch myself talking crap to myself, and I'm like, "Oh, we have to be a little nicer. Let's be a little nicer, okay?" But I am going to kind of shift the questions a little bit because we have some playful ones too. And since I feel like right now I'm in a real playful mood with you, if your childhood bedroom had a theme song, what would it be?
Hmm. I would, but which song you mean? I would definitely. I know it's gonna sound cliche, but Barbie Girl would be my childhood room song because, like, I had these wallpapers that were full of heel shoes, like the pictures of shoes. Some of them were like shoes, and some of them were with heels, and some of them with like sports shoes. And like it was all pink. My whole room theme was pink. And when I grew up, I started to hate it. But at the time, I was just like, it's my room kind of vibe.
I actually love that. I like genuinely love that, and I also kind of low key love that song. Just
I
no
did too.
takers. I'll still play it in my Subaru. I don't give a cluck. But I love. Yeah, okay, so again, I grew up with a sister, so I had to share my room. So like themes to my room was never really what I wanted, and because my little sister always got what she wanted, it was more her color schemes, whatever she wanted, and I was just like I always said, "Okay, Melanie, it's your world, I'm just living in it." And, like, that's kinda how it felt, so to have a space as like a grown up and to see like what I do with my space, I'm always like, oh, I like that. I love
Right.
that.
Can I just ask? I'm curious. How is your relationship with your sister now?
Mm, slowly but surely, we're improving because we do own this home together, and obviously, I am very well aware of how much my family has supported me, but specifically my little sister during this very tough year of mine. So, we're working our way through.
Yeah, but that's the thing with siblings, no? I get that. I have two older sisters too.
Oh, you're the youngin?
Yeah, so I am like your sister. I got all the attention, especially like my sisters when they were born. My parents weren't doing great financially, so like they had to work all the time, and they left them. They left my sisters to my grandmother, and they would pick them up on weekends. This is such a big trauma for my sisters, by the way. Like they're like I wrote
Yeah.
about that in some of my posts. And when I was born, they were doing okay, so they took all of us together under the same roof. Like were never like my sisters were never hostile or like mean towards me, but they have reflected it so many times that like you always get what you want. It's always about you. You're like your daddy's little girl. If you want chocolate, my mom will go and grab it at midnight. So I guess like there are two sides of everything. So that's a different like thing to explore from each side.
I mean, I could probably definitely talk to your sisters and understand their trauma, but I also appreciate your perspective because, again, my sister didn't act like when she first was born. I'm sure as she continued to get older and enjoyed all the attention, she continued to ask for certain things. But, I don't think she ever thought that the way that she was moving in her life was actually ever affecting me in a negative way. And I think, as a young kid, I just formulated a type of resentment that wasn't fair for me to put on her because again, it wasn't her fault. And everybody just tries to do the best they can when they're raising kids. So,
I
it
think
is what it
so.
is.
But like kids do not know better too, so we should not go hard on ourselves either. I guess
Right.
accepting every state because you are a child. You just like want, yeah, you get again then. So just
Yeah.
yeah,
I
every
know.
every human experience is special on their side.
That is very true. I do wanna get to Wounds and Wings comment. They have a question saying, "What has living alone been trying to teach you, I?"
I think I can like I have the answer because I've been reflecting on this for a long time. I used to hate being alone. Like it was my one of my biggest fears. I couldn't spend time on my own. I
Mm.
always wanted people around me, and I felt like if no one was there, then the time I spent meant nothing. Like what does it even mean? And now moving to London made me like living alone made me such an independent person where I enjoy my solitude so much. I actually even like realized a shift. I've always been an extroverted person, but like I'm becoming not introverted, but slowly approaching to a bit more to that side because like I want to see people, but for a duration. I don't want to be all with them all the time. And I just like yeah. So generally, so being living alone taught me to enjoy my company.
I love that. Mm. I love that so much. I think I wrote a post earlier this year, because I'm almost 11 well, 10 years older than you, almost a whole decade older than you, and I'm like, I also hated being alone. I felt like it was very weird to be in this solitude, and I didn't appreciate it when I was younger, but obviously this year has definitely changed that perspective for me, and for the first time, I went to a diner, and I sat by myself, and I ate breakfast by myself, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm doing it," and then I looked around, and I was like, "Nobody cares."
Yeah.
Like, and it was more of just, like, things in my own head that I had to overcome, so I love that, moving to London and you getting your own space has really helped you already understand how important solitude is because I worked in retail my whole life, and I didn't realize that being in constant contact with humans was draining my damn soul.
Especially if you're empathetic like yourself
Yeah,
as you described, it's like
yeah.
double the intense.
Yeah, yeah, so it's been great to learn how to, like, fall in love with me here, but,
Oh, that's such a
uh
nice phrase to put it. Like, so I'll have to admit though, when I was first moving in London, I was 25 and I brought my mom with me for like to stay. I was so
Amazing.
yeah, yeah. She stayed with me for 1.5 months. So like I needed someone to settle me in. So I would also like not in the sense that like moving living alone, but this whole London experience is my way of stepping out of the comfort zone for real this time, because there were before in my life I don't think I did it for real like I did this time. So yeah.
I think you're doing great. And I could totally relate to having your mom kind of help you adjust into this season when you were 25 and first moved here. Um, I I moved to Florida when I was 25. I call it a quarter life crisis.
I think
And
25 is really a quarter life
it is
crisis.
a quarter life crisis, and I also packed up my things and I moved, but I moved to a state that my mom was in, and I lived with her for a period of time before I got my own apartment there. So it was definitely an adjustment period as like a grown up living back with my mom after living on my own. But it was definitely something that was necessary. Um, Beautifully broken. Thanks for joining. Why magnified? Thanks for joining. Mac says every parent is stumbling through life just like all of us, and I think that's what I've kind of gotten to understand later in life. And when I look at my parents, I'm like, oh, you really did try. You really did try.
Yeah, like my father just joined. When you said that, my father just joined to your life.
Oh, hello, daddy. uh, Beautifully broken said, oh, I live alone. Sometimes I feel like people think I'm weird for that. No, no, I don't
No,
think you're weird. I think you're amazing. Thank you.
I think, yeah, definitely.
Christina Blair, Max says people will always think you're weird for something. That is true, isn't that
That
like a weird
is
crusader?
true. I think like there is a certain classification for being normal, but I think that's just people. I don't know what is people's intention, like when or like what is their classification, because I've never belonged to that criteria myself. But I think people are. Every person has their own weird stuff, but some are better in hiding, I guess.
Yeah, that just makes me feel more bad for them because it's like you don't feel like you can be your authentic self. And
Exactly.
I'm definitely someone that wants to create spaces where weirdness is appreciated and adored, and
And
who
my
wants to be like everybody else? Like
exactly. Like what is like what do you well, like I cannot think myself in that position where I'm just like
yeah.
that all the I don't even I can't even find the words.
No, I mean, this is what we're talking about, labels. We don't like labels. I don't like boxes. Don't put me in a box. Don't expect me to be a certain way just by the way that I look or talk or walk or whatever the case may be. Like, everybody has their own individuality. And the sooner society starts leaning into the fact that different is the point, because we learn from being different, we learn from expressing ourselves in the ways we help people shift perspectives in real life because of that. I think, the world will definitely be a better place. Um,
I'm gonna not partially, I blame like generally a bit of like the capitalist side where they like try to, I think like when you're labeled in like just generally how the world is built, we're all classified under labels because that's just makes us more controllable, and like they don't want us to be different, because if like imagine if there were everyone was different, and like how could they control everyone? So just generally I think being that sameness aspect makes people more controllable.
I think IMI just cracked the whole world, and I love it. Because that is literally the thing. Like, because we're in two different countries and we both feel the same way about something. So there is a bigger control, and we don't. Imagine if everybody just was who they were. Again, no, we couldn't. You couldn't get control that way, and I think that's the key word.
Exactly. And I've written, this is like a statement that I wrote one of my posts. If we yeah, so I'm gonna start a rebellion at this live show. No, I'm just kidding. But like
I'm for it. I'm for it.
no, isn't like I wrote about this, like in the, collectivism, like isn't it just individualism multiplied? So we are as individuals make up this whole society. If we want it to be changed, if we want our differences to be embraced, then we should embrace them ourselves, and that could like can change the world. Are you with me today?
Sorry, this was my fake mic drop. No, I adore you. I adore you. Thank you for saying this. I love that this is also like all being recorded. So hopefully other people will be able to enjoy this. And I hope that there's a cool video clip that we could take from this too. But Wounds and Wings said, I love that too, loving your own company. Why Magnify said, just showed up. I'm between my work task and meetings now to show support and love for IMI. Hello, everyone. Wish you the best. Good luck in what you are doing. Oh, that was very sweet.
That's super sweet.
Max said, just own the weird. Absolutely. And I will not pay property tax on it. Christina said, brave soul. Who, me or her? I think we both are. Beautifully Broken said, I literally can't. I have to be alone. I prefer it. My trauma makes me this way, I think. But you're naming it, you're acknowledging it, and you're self aware of it. So I think if you, again, found yourself in company that felt like safe, you would be okay. Healing Out Loud, thanks for joining. Max said, that's perfectly fine. Screw the critics. Yep. I got 2 fingers just for them. Just kidding. Wounds and Wings said, Ada, so how can we define being bored and being lonely, rather differentiate between them? I feel like sometimes it's the same thing.
Can
Yeah.
you repeat the question, please?
Of course. So Wounds and Wings says, so how can we define being bored and being lonely, rather differentiate between them?
Being bored and being lonely okay, I want to hear your answer.
So sometimes I feel like it's the same. Like sometimes because I'm bored, I feel lonely, or because I'm lonely, I feel bored, right? Like I feel like they can equate each other.
Yeah, that's true.
But to differentiate it, yeah, that's where my mind is kind of like do.
I can take over. That's fine. So, like for example, imagine like when you're among like the biggest crowds or like with a huge friend group, and you're just feeling bored. That happens to most of us, I guess. Like when we're with people who we really do not enjoy the company, but we're just doing it for the sake of it, just to like tell us that we are actually not being bored because we're doing something, but your inner self knows. And then, whereas you would actually prefer to be alone during the time that you spend there, and being alone could make you feel not bored and enjoying your own company instead of being with a crowd of people who you don't enjoy to spend time with.
I can completely agree with that, because I'm not a big fan of performance. And earlier this year, I removed myself from a group of people that I think literally just perform. And it was exhausting to share space with them, because it was just like, are any of you being real? Like, any of you? Like, it just seemed like a whole show. And yeah, I'd much rather be alone and quote unquote bored than be in spaces where it's just being performed. Emmy said, great point. I don't even know what we were talking about anymore.
No, I wanted to say I adore you too a lot.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, that's very sweet. Really mutual, my friend. Max said, go after the capitalism, man. Yeah, we don't like them. Philosopher, poet, IMI. Isn't she? And you know what? Philosophy is literally my favorite subject because there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can ramble until the morning and then the next day and the next day, and your thoughts can keep changing. You can back them up. I love that.
Yeah, I literally think that was my favorite class to take when I actually did school, because it was just like, it allowed my brain to just explore and not feel like I had to have the right answer per se, you know?
Yeah.
T.S. Morgan, thanks for joining. Alexi, thanks for joining. Alan. T.S. Morgan said, I romanticize bored. I yearn for a moment to be bored.
I love romanticizing. I'm just gonna try romanticize. How do you romanticize bored? How could you romanticize?
We need a little tips and tricks, T.S. Morgan. But I kind of like that thought though. Like,
Yeah.
Look, you got my brain. Like, I don't know if anybody can see. Like, my AOL man is like sprinting up here.
Can I just take this moment to give a shout out to my entire family who is watching this live show right now? Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you to IMI's family, because without you, she quite literally wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
And
literally.
she's quite the amazing human. So you guys did a great job being great examples for an amazing human. Weightless feel on stage. I don't know what you mean. T.S. Morgan said, I have 4 kids under 6. Oh, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why he romanticizes because he's always doing something, and it's probably very loud everywhere that he is. I save space to be bored. Optimism from Darkness says, I think that's the key. And then T.S. Morgan says, you want what you can't have, some as the flu. I love the idea of wallowing, to be ill and bored with no
I love that
responsibilities, but being ill. So I don't want to be ill because I like my health, but I do want to be a dog in a good home.
Yeah, that's, or a cat. I think cats.
Or any pet in a good home.
Yeah,
Like, it's got to be a good home. Because,
But
like, literally, my dog is just laying on the bed. He's got no worries in the world, and all he knows is that every day he gets food, and every day he gets to go outside and, like, smell the grass and use the bathroom wherever the fuck he wants, and, you know, he doesn't have to stress about the cost of toilet paper.
yeah, definitely. Definitely, I envied with like cat with that because like dogs are a bit more like I feel like dogs are slightly anxious attached and cats are avoidant. Like they just like don't care if you have a time.
They're definitely different on the spectrum, but they both provide the same thing to the human experience.
Definitely.
So I can appreciate both of them. All right,
Can
go
I
ahead.
just add something, like just like because I wanted to highlight about that ill comment, like being sick and like not having to do anything. I was like uber sick 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like I was not literally functioning, but that gave me the right and full justification of doing nothing and feeling comfortable about that. And I realized that after I healed, I said like I wish am I wishing to be ill again so that I would be okay with not doing anything? Yeah, so I get that.
But isn't that like a tricky little thing for our brains, right? Where we have to have a good reason to rest.
Yes, definitely,
And that
definitely.
and that's the again, that's the problem with the society is that we're always trained to keep going and, like, you're only as good as your last achievement, and you need all of this stuff, and how dare you just sit in your on your couch all day and do
Yeah.
nothing, as if, like, that's not a form of recovery in its own, so I wanna normalize nothing. I wanna normalize doing nothing and taking rest
Nothing.
when you need it and not feeling guilty, 'cause I definitely struggle with that hard, and so I'm giving myself
Me
permission
too.
right now.
Me too, definitely. I've been a restless person all my life, so I get that.
Yeah. It might be my ADHD. It might be your ADHD.
Yeah, we're on the same boat here.
If we need to label things and put some stuff in it, but before I lose more time, let's get to a couple of more questions because the people came to hear from you.
Okay.
Um, what version of yourself do you feel closest to right now? The builder, the dreamer, the healer, the observer?
Builder, dreamer, healer, observer. What would you? Well, how would you like? Can if you were to say a one sentence about the builder, what would that be? To a point.
Um, well, to me, like the builder is like the things that you're building here on Substack and what you're
Yeah.
creating and stuff like that.
So I would say, not specifically one, but I would say the builder and the dreamer, because I have like these two have been giving me the so builder side is giving me the energy and the feel to like go and act on stuff, and like the dreamer side is like the brain side, like that's the brain part, like that's the brain team, like it gives the ideas, and then the builder makes them happen. So for me, like I used to be a person who would think like if for like the biggest achievements or like good things or like any milestones, I will say like, does that like is it like your thing to do? Like, do you think you can really achieve it? So I will minimize myself and see like not see all the wonders and the possibilities that life can see me because I would not see myself in that position. So
Mm,
as more as I grew up, I realized that my imagination, my dreamer side was my strength, and like I am like a great is I am a really great romanticizer, guys. I can classify myself as a bit delusional. I'm a bit delusional sometimes. So like, oh, that side, although sometimes gets me to overthink about stuff, like then the combination into invites rationals as well as the irrational, I guess.
mm. I love that though. And
Yeah,
I love that so, like, what I'm trying to lean into is definitely the dreamer side because I feel like what I have heard all year is if you can dream it, it's already exist. So, like, to
exactly.
have fun dreaming, and I'm like, "Why did it take me so long to learn this?"
Yes.
It's like I remember being a kid and they asking, "Well, what do you wanna be when you grow up?" And me, like, literally having no clue, like, no nothing. And then it wasn't, obviously no surprise that I just ended up in retail, but, like, I, like, love the children that stay in tuned with their ability to dream, and I feel like those are the ones that reach those goals earlier in life than, said self that may get to it in my 40s, which is completely okay too, but, um I definitely say continue to lean into the version of yourself that dreams and continue to dream big because you are worth every dream that you come up with, my friend.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so lovely. Thank you for saying that.
Of course. Um, I'm like torn between questions or comments because I know that I talked a lot about I love engaging with the chat, but I also don't want to take away from why we're here. And We're here because IMI is an amazing writer who has been published in newspapers, guys.
And
Like,
it's
can you talk about your recent one that you that will be what next year, you said?
No, it's gonna be on spring actually. I'm so
Spring.
excited. So yeah, see, I have been dreaming about like getting published in somewhere and it's happened like, and you know when it happened it was so interesting. So like generally these past few weeks I told you about the numbness stuff. I was like feeling numb and I was feeling like my days were drifting, life was just passing by. And again, just like not caring a lot about that part of life that was happening at the time, I didn't react on it much. And
Mm.
then I and then I saw my ex-boyfriend getting a job on LinkedIn and I just got mad because I was thinking because I was thinking like, did he won the life game now? Like I have to do something, I have to build something. And sometimes I know that's like it looks like maybe it doesn't just looks like it's a toxic thought because I was literally depressed about this for a week, not having a job for such a long time anyway. So I just wanted to see it, not only the writing part, but as well as the job part, because I have been so much on my education on psychology as well. So that week, I sent 3 of my poems and applications to everywhere. And next week, while I was just like on a Monday, I was just like waking up another week, nothing ahead. And then when I saw those emails, I cannot say how many times I danced on the street while I was walking with occasional jumps. So yeah, that was really nice.
Next time you do that, I need a full video, my friend,
I
okay?
was definitely.
But, you know, again, you call it toxicity, I call it, being fueled to continue to reach your higher self, and even if it came from somebody that you used to know, it
Mhm.
still led you to go after the things that are yours anyway, so I'm glad that that little LinkedIn thing prompted your ability to remember who the fuck you are, okay?
Exactly. Sometimes we just need a little push. So, like, basically, I'm just gonna add a bit, just a tiny bit about this. I am taking the CBT course now, and this is like a submodality of it, REBT, where it classifies negative emotions into two, where one is unhealthy negative emotions and the other is healthy negative emotions.
Yeah.
So, actually, not all the negative emotions are bad for us. For anxiety, for example, the healthy version is concern. And they say, like, just generally, the philosophical approach, which REBT is rooted in Stoicism, Stoics, they say, like, we don't, anxiety keeps us stuck in situations, but we need concern. Yeah, we need concern to keep us in action. Like, we need some feel to, like, have us feel bothered by our current circumstances so that we will try to move forward instead of staying in what's not working for us.
Hmm. I like I said, I wish, and I can say this for myself, but I know people that are, you know, of a different generation of mine may also wish this, but I wish that there was more talks of all of this when I was growing up, you know? Like, I love that nowadays people talk about stuff, people share what's going on, and people understand that we all have a voice,
Hmm.
and the way that we listen to it will completely dictate how and the results of our own life. And anxiety is not a bad thing. It has such a negative connotation because of our inability to properly process it, right?
Hmm. Definitely.
Hmm. I love that you're so educated too, thanks. Um, oh man, why did this time go by so fast? What did you do?
If I had any power to do something, I would slow
I
motion the
said,
time.
pause. Remember, there was an Adam Sandler movie.
Click.
Click. Yeah. Just,
Yeah, yeah, click. Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
pause. Just pause. Everybody pause. Everybody stay with us. I have 20 questions and I maybe read five. Like, like, but no. Let's. I'm gonna switch to another one, and I will get to the chat before we sign off. So a lot of the responses will just be delayed, and I apologize. But thank you everybody that has tuned in to witness me and IMI just have a real fun conversation.
Yeah.
I always am blown away by the amount of people that show up and talk with us. So I do appreciate everybody. Um, if you can bottle one tiny moment from an ordinary day and keep it forever, what moment would you choose?
That's a difficult one. I have to think for a second. Maybe while I think, you can talk to the comment people. I'm not sure if that was like a way of
Well,
thinking.
is it as long as it doesn't distract you? But yes, I can
No,
definitely do
no, yeah, it doesn't. It won't distract me. And I would be more relieved so that I would think I'm not
it.
wasting
Yeah, yeah.
time. Yeah,
No. So Wounds and Wings said Borin can be constructive, setting boundaries while as we can see the loneliness as a red line crossed. I feel like that is true. And I think that setting boundaries definitely helps you realize who's tipping toeing across those lines that we don't really want. Max said, I am a dog with the temperament of a cat. I kind of love that. They had a whole cartoon called Cat Dog. Do we not remember that?
I remember that.
Okay. Alexi said, workaholics can't see realistically. Hmm. Some of these comments, you guys are tickling my brain. I don't know if my capacity is there yet. T.S. Morgan said, "A door locked when you crap is my only act of defiance." So wait, so you don't lock it or you do lock it? Because I feel like if you don't lock it, you know, it is what it is. um, Easy Weezy, thanks for joining. Max said, "Feel your pain, Morgan." Diana, thanks for joining. What version of you feel closer, dreamer, poet, writer? I mean, that's probably more towards you. So, you said dreamer, right, or poet, writer?
Dreamer, poet, or writer. Are these options? I would say
Yeah,
like I would say the all of the above. I guess like that will be my answer because like
it's
those are
literally all of you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a combo of all of you.
Yeah, so I have my answer, by the way, which were
Go
the
ahead.
like ordinary parts. This is a very specific moment. So like when I write and for to post something, it's not like that easy. Like it's like a word process. Like all of my first drafts is a word vomit because like as a fellow ADHD, you would know that like thoughts are like just like all of them are spread like different clouds in my head, and I know how it makes sense. But I for me to put it onto paper, I have to first draft and then 10 more edits, and then it feels like a bird process because I have to connect the ideas. So that sometimes is not like that's like the difficult part. But once it's finished, I have this moment that I write about before I'm publishing my piece, and then I smoke ciggies, but tobacco. I'm like so I have my cigarette when I'm reading when I'm having that final read of the post, and it's such a satisfactory feeling. But I have to have a cigarette in that moment, like that's like a conditioned association for me at this point.
It's dopamine.
Yeah, like double the dopamine, maybe that
Yeah.
could be the case. So I love that moment when I'm just about to post, piece is ready, I'm feeling content, I'm feeling satisfied, and one more final read where I'm having a cigarette. That moment I will bottle and put it in a jar.
It's giving like Sex in the City. Like I love that for you, and I think that that is the most precious ordinary moment that you could ever come up with to answer that question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because like the
Oh.
other answer was so boring. So like we feeling after gym. So I don't. Who wants to be? We just like yeah.
But bottling that feeling after you've worked out and sweated and feel like your body has been moved, that is a gem too. But
That
yeah,
is definitely a gem. That's one of
that's
my favorite gems.
yeah, that's a good gem. I
But
mean, I have shifted my workouts to nights because I felt like maybe this will help me sleep better. So
that is
I work out, I take a shower, and then I plop in my bed, and I'm just like, body rest.
That's such a good. Great. I'm a morning workout person, but I'll definitely try that because now I've ruined my sleeping schedule. I stay up until 4 a.m. Maybe I could go to gym instead and take it a bit more early.
I mean, everybody has anybody that works out has the reason of why they work out when they work out. So
Yeah,
if it's working for you and you like waking up at 4 a.m., then keep at it. And I give you a round of applause for your
not
consistency.
waking up, sleeping at 4 a.m. Sleeping,
Oh,
going to
sorry.
bed. No, I do.
Wait,
I
you go to sleep at 4 a.m.?
usually lately that has been the case. So like I don't deserve a single round of applause for my sleeping schedule at this point.
Well, I mean, I yes, you do because you survive it every day and you still show up and you still create amazing content, probably on very limited sleep. And I do believe that I can definitely relate. The last 2 nights, I haven't stayed up till 4, but it's been like midnight and later, and I'm like, why am I still awake? Why am I still awake? And it's Substack. That's why I'm still awake.
Definitely.
There's always people awake on Substack because there's people from all over the world on Substack. So it's just like I
Constantly.
feel like I'm gonna miss something apparently, but it's definitely worth training your brain to kind of take some rest sometimes.
Definitely. I love what Aiden said. I catch that comment. Aiden always, each night, he just like catches me in somewhere interacting or posting something, and he has this, he sorry, my phone fell. He does an intervention and tells me to go to bed. And so now I cannot go to bed without him telling me to do so.
I saw that. I saw that note. I saw that note, Eden. Yes, I saw that. Which
Aiden, you can never leave my life now. Like every day
you
from
always
now
have to
on,
tell her to go to bed.
you always have to find me. If it's not for Substack, you have to tell me that I should be going to bed.
All right. I'm gonna pick one final question before we unfortunately have to apparently wrap this up. It's like 11 in Boston and she's awake in England. Yeah, that is kind of bizarre. Oh, you're a masshole? No, just kidding. I'm not gonna call you that. That's rude. Boston. The Knicks play them tonight. I look forward to watching that game. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, moving on. To I guess the last question, which is making me kind of sad. Hmm. I want it to be like a good question too. So I'm like reading some of them like
Mic drop question.
Well, I think I'm just gonna leave it Substack related. Um what do you want people to feel in their bodies after reading your work? Lighter, braver, more seen, more curious?
I would, first of all, like a combination of some of them, because I would definitely want to leave them with a bit of a curiosity. I would want them to think about what they just read after finishing my piece. I would want it to be thought provoking because that's what I'm trying to do generally. I try to write a bit more about the unconventional stuff that shifts the idea towards them and making them a bit like making the unconventional the new conventional. That's like what I'm aiming, but that's like a certain element of it. What I try to most like what I hope to give to my readers at its most is to be like to feel seen, because like there are some, as we just like talked in the beginning about the tears and how we always think that we should be hiding them because of the societal pressure about them. That's just like about some memories or just like unspoken moments that we all experiences, yet we keep it quiet inside, and it's sometimes it usually lingers, and it's that quiet little ache stays inside us. We don't speak about it because we're gonna seem weaker or like be judged. So when I write, I try to write about those moments where like I share my internal process and help people to realize like there is someone out there and she knows how it feels like and she's not afraid to show it. So I would say relief, courage, feeling seen, and also a bit of curiosity. That's what I would love to leave my readers with.
I mean, I'm just one of them, and I'm sure the other ones in this chat can agree or disagree with me, but I think you do a really great job of doing that. And I think as a writer, the one thing that is most important to me is resonance. So the fact that anything that I say, somebody's like, "Oh my God, yeah, me too." That is like the biggest compliment, and it does help validate me,
Yeah, it
and
does.
makes me also feel seen. So sometimes I always say I write for me, but I do write in hopes that people resonate and find comfort
Mhm.
and the being seen and stuff like that. So I think you do a great job with,
Thank you
the
so
way
much.
that you put your
I
stuff.
just, I sorry, did I okay? Thank you. So I just also wanted to say about what you said, like writing for yourself. That's the real writing. Because if you just want to write for what about like what your readers want you to write, what people want to read, that wouldn't make it real either. So people actually like and feel resonance when they read stuff that is real and that what you want to talk about.
Mm, Mic drop. Aiden said we love IMI so raw and human and a great writer. Couldn't agree
I
more.
love you too, Aiden.
Could not agree more. I feel like I lost control of my chat, and I'm sorry. There are so many comments that I didn't get a chance to read out loud, or barely even get to read at all. But I want everybody that has decided to join us today to know how important and magical you have made this space, and I am hopeful that I get to continue to get to know everybody that's in this chat as well, and continue to support you. I am. Do you have some place to be?
I actually do, but they can wait. So it's like depending on what you want to
Well,
share.
because we have like 2 minutes left, and I can definitely ask
No,
you
we
another
can, we can,
question.
we can. Yeah, no, we can go on if that's
Well, I
okay.
can definitely ask you one more question because I feel like there's a couple of people that just are trinkling in, and I love it. Martine,
Let's keep
Christina.
rolling. Let's
Yeah,
keep rolling.
we're gonna keep rolling for like another 5-10 minutes because IMI's got a hot date that she doesn't want to let her linger. Apparently,
Yeah, my best friend is always my hot date.
yeah, but they're important. They're the fact that they're always there. So I'm gonna ask one more question to kind of see where that conversation goes. And again,
Yeah.
just thank you all for joining us and being present with us today. Um,
Yeah.
doesn't she have to sleep? The bathrobe guy. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining. I didn't even know. 6 p.m. there. Oh,
It's
you're
6
5. Yeah, you're
p.m.
5 hours ahead of me. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have 8 more hours awake if we consider that 4 a.m. threshold.
So what she's saying is we still have time, people. So stay with us for another question. When you imagine your future self 5 years from now, what's the energy she carries that you're already starting to grow into?
What's the energy of my five? I think the energy for my like that is building up now and that will be carried on 5 years from now is believe like I believe in myself now. I believe like I can do stuff. I can I just say like I've always been confident. Like I had self confidence, but that was in social interactions because of being an extrovert. Internally, I didn't have that much of a confidence. I wouldn't believe that I would achieve stuff that I was actually capable of achieving. So that's negative self talk made me. At some point in my life, I was. When I was younger, that was different. When I was a child, I had like 7 jobs that I wanted to do. That was like my dream pack, and like all of them. One of them was even a scuba diver. By the way, like I have no limits. Like if it's land or sea or generally air, I would just like wanted to do everything. But then as I grew up, facing life restrictions and like generally my own mental restrictions, as well as what life puts us through, I started to think that like maybe just like is life is all mostly about like settling like if I have a job now and if I have a good place to live, a mediocre person who I like to spend like a person, a partner, not mediocre never, but just like a lover, that will be okay, I guess. So I stopped dreaming at some point in my life because I thought that was what it was about. But now then again, Substack and writing on here made me realize that I could actually go for my dreams. I could actually write a book one day. And actually, there are people who are interested to listen and see, yeah, what I want to say. When I wasn't on Substack, I would send what I wrote to my friends, closest people I've ever had. I swear none of them read. None of them ever read what I've sent them. Like it's just and now there are so many of you who want to read and who are looking forward to my pieces. So which made me realize that okay, maybe I can make my voice heard. Maybe people would want to listen. So I guess I have been believing in myself more, and I think in 5 years from now, hopefully my achievements will be aligned with that belief, so that I could just like build a whole person out of that belief.
Mm. You said something that kind of like rattles the inside of me, and I was just like, like you could get the job and you can get comfortable and you can find the house and you could find the person, and then like the way you made it sound like this that that's not the end goal. It's like,
Yeah.
isn't the end goal of life to continue to evolve, continue to grow, to continue to build, continue to support, continue to, keep doing the things? And it was just like for so long, I don't know if it was the American dream or what I got sold, but I definitely thought like, oh, I have a job. I've been in this company for that this year would have been 16 years. That's solid. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I got married. Oh, well, I got engaged and then bought a house I was the first person in my family at 27 to buy a home. So I was just like, that's what, look, I'm doing the things. Look, I'm doing it. And I felt so shitty about my life, So the fact that you named that in the way that you said that, it was just like, wow, you're
Yeah.
so, you're so advanced for your years. I love it. And I love that you also, said this space is continuing for you to believe that your voice deserves to be heard. And I love that we've all had probably our experiences that led us to Substack and finding the tribes, the people, the niches, the whatever you want to call it, the community of support here that validates that we are all talented. We are all worth writing the damn book, and people will read it. And you are very adored, my friend. I'll be very honest, because IMI asked me how have these lives been going, and I'm like, oh, they're good. You know, we have people in the chat. She has brought in the most viewers on my live.
Oh my god!
So
Wow.
so that's just like to show you how impactful you are and inspirational you are in this community, because people show up for you. So keep fucking writing, bro. Write the book. Get as many newspapers to publish as many poems that you throw at them. Like, go for the things, because you are deserving of all the things, my friend.
That means a lot, and I just got the chills, and I cannot say how much that means to me. Thank you, and thank you everyone who showed up today, everyone who keeps showing up every time I write something. Just generally, people who we interact, engaging, silent readers. I'm so glad that all of you are here, and I will keep showing up every day and fully present as myself. I just wanted to add a bit of a note to my, like, because you said how like advanced for my age. I owe that to my sisters, so they're both in this live. I wanted to give this attribute to them. They taught me so much, and that like I owe a part of my who I am to them as well as my dreams. So just generally, thank you to everyone on this platform who keeps reading me, who's engaging, just supporting, and then for making my dreams seem like they could happen, like making me believe that they could happen.
They are happening. You're living in the part of your life where your dreams are cultivating itself. Okay? So 5 years from now, we will meet up again and we will remember this conversation, and I will be like, oh, look at you in your freaking wherever you are doing whatever you're doing, publishing however many books you have, and it'll be a cool moment. And that's why I love the fact that Substack kind of archives these and records these and saves these, because we can look back on this in a year from now and you can see your own growth in that. So I love these time capsules. I love having the opportunity to get to know so many amazing, beautiful people. Robes was on this show a while ago, and I have been blessed to get to know so many humans because of the space. So again, thank you so much for being here. And remember, you're cultivating it all right now. And also, just so you know, I told my sister she has literally had a cheat code her entire life, because I've been going through my own stuff before her. And do you think she listens to me? So I love the fact that you shouted out your sisters. They are the real MVPs. Listen to the people above you, like older than you. Take from the wisdom. I have always surrounded myself usually with people a lot older than me, because I'm always like, I can learn from their mistakes. I don't need to make them to learn from them. So
That's such
wise of you to allow your sisters to show you kind of the ropes of how to live life and be a good human and stuff.
Exactly. They have a decade more experience than I do, so
you are wise, my friend. You are very, very wise.
thank you.
All right. Well, apparently IMI has to get to
You can. I'm like, leave it in your hands.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. You can do because I'm enjoying this way too much, and my friend can have one more pint while she waits for me, so it's okay.
And she won't be upset about that at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just like she's like, I'm on going live, and like, yeah.
Oh, you guys, you're so cute. All right, so let me get to. I like my playful inner child little section that I came up with. What's the most delightfully unnecessary thing you do that instantly lifts your mood?
Delightfully but unnecessary thing that I do that just instantly lifts my mood. Let me think for a second. I have this specific McVitie's cookies that is like pink. Do you know? Like, well, I don't know what's this called. Like the pink, the cover is pink. I eat one and then I eat five more. I think like I could leave it in five and then one and then like eating, but it's just so delightful and it's just at the same time so unnecessary. But I just look forward to finishing my meal so that I can have my 5 or 6 McVitie's that I pick. If you haven't eaten it, guys, you're missing out. That's such a great one.
I feel like I need you to send me a picture the next time you do.
I will definitely.
So that I can because I don't know if it's called the same thing here per se, right?
Yeah, but so I'm just gonna show you.
Oh, wait, guys, she's got him in real life. Let's look.
Okay. So this is the McVitie that we have here. Am I holding it? Yeah, this is. But mine is not this. Mine is pink. Do you have this in US?
It is a type of cookie. It is called something different, I feel like. But that one looks really good. It's chocolate.
It's waiting for you when you come to
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah, I'll be there hop, skip, and a jump. Oh man, that's funny. It's funny because I was like, it reminded me of like a bag of chips because somebody says like you can't open just one, you can't just have ever one chip, right?
No,
So apparently
never.
you can't ever have just one cookie. Um,
Five more.
so Mac is confirming that yes, we have them. So wherever Mac is, they
Yeah.
exist. They also said you two need to make this every week. Great interview, great responses, best boss level. Yeah. You know what's funny is this almost never even happened. IMI slid into my DMs and was like, "Hey, I want to be on your show," and I was like, "Duh." And thanks to her, you guys have gotten a great opportunity to sit and chat with us for a while now. We've done at least an hour, and I have one more question because I really like this one. Um, if your inner child handed you a crayon and said, "Draw something you miss," what would you sketch?
Do you have such a creative questions? Wow, I'm so amazing. If my inner child, what would she draw? Can I just show? I think she would draw this, and this really visually gonna show this because I keep looking at this poster in my house, and I love it, and I think this would be what my inner child will draw.
Aw,
This was
it's all the things. It's
It is
all the
all the
things.
things. Yeah, this is like my world. How my like I picture my world that is here.
It's
So
the
my inner
beautiful
child.
universe. You know,
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And we love
Perhaps
I love a good rainbow. You know that. You know.
definitely. Definitely. It's like, yeah, it's like eternity, but something else. I carried these posters from Barcelona in my hand, like it's like a entire like those flies. I kept losing it, some everywhere, but some of like I guess I was supposed to bring it because each time like officer brought them back to me. I lose stuff a lot.
That's
Then,
okay. That's okay.
yeah.
Again, that's
Some,
because your brain is always moving, you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
grace, you never lose anything that you don't have. You know, like
True.
everything is within you anyway. So whatever happens to disappear for a second will always resurface back when you need it the most. I definitely believe that.
That's such like like you just like said it so quickly, but that's such an inspirational thing. So just nice. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I have a problem. I do have
uh-huh,
a problem. I speak really fast, and
me too.
apparently that is not normal. But
Mhm.
when I grew up, everybody spoke fast.
Yeah.
So it was just like and I remember being like a teenager and like my aunt and my uncle and my mom and dad, my grandparents always being like, "Slow down." And I'm like, "Speed up."
I love that. I love that, and I'm gonna adopt that answer because, like, I have been a fast talker all my life. In English, like now that I'm used to English, I speak fast in English too. But in Turkish, I like my friends would say, whenever you tell something, I get the 50% of the story, and then I have to interpret the like rest of the 50%. So I just like kind of come up with the rest on my mind because I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's huh.
I feel like I need you to say a sentence in your native language.
Okay. Ask
Anything
me.
you want.
You tell me the sentence and I'll tell the
Okay,
thing.
well, I can ask you the question. I can ask you another question. You can answer it if you want in your native
Yeah.
language and then tell us in English, but
Okay, sure.
that sound good?
Yeah, it feels funny to speak live, like Turkish in live, but I'm ready for it. Okay, bring it in.
What part of yourself are you currently learning to trust more?
It feels weird. Şu an hayatımda daha çok kalbime güvenmeyi öğreniyorum. This is the
Mm,
Turkish version. How did it sound?
beautiful.
Is it? Some people say Turkish sounds rough.
I don't know,
Did
say
it?
it again then. I'll listen
Şu
even
an, şu an hayatımda en çok kalbime güvenmeye alışıyorum ve bunu çalışıyorum.
No, why would anybody say it sounds rough? I don't even know what that means. How does a language sound rough?
I have an example, but I just don't want to make people mad, so I will text you.
Okay, let me know after because no, I think it's beautiful. And again, I am somebody that really, really, really appreciates all cultures, and I I I know that that probably was difficult for you because you have been trained for so long now, probably to speak English, especially when other
Exactly.
people are speaking English. So I really appreciate you sharing your language with us. But now you're gonna have to tell us what you said.
Okay, of course. So by the way, it felt weird for me too. Like I'm like even the starting off the sentence in Turkish. So what I said was at this point in my life, what I'm trying to trust more and feel more connected to is my heart.
Mm, mm,
So that's the part. So you did several days ago. I wrote a note like I followed my heart today. Like I guess you replied to that. So at that point, I as I said, I dream a lot, but I also think a lot because like my mind is always on the constant motion. So as a person who doesn't like uncertainty, I used to be worse. I am now adjusting it. Um, for me to follow my heart, I would have to be certain how the scenario might could have go on and end up with. So that and that's like years of experience in my life where I just got my heart broken so many times that anxious attached person literally says, "Here is my heart. What do you want to do with it?" And then like you become independent as soon as like it was scary for me to just like it's at some point it got I was scared to like someone because I wouldn't want to lose control because I didn't want to lose the control of my heart and give it to someone else. So I just like suppressed it a bit, and then recently I just followed my heart. By the way, it led me to into such a horrible place. Like it didn't end up well, but that's not the point. It's never about what happens in the end. Never in life. It's always about the process and how the
mm.
process makes us feel. At that moment, my heart felt relief. My entire muscles of my body just like they, they just literally did this and they relaxed. And even the path that I followed ended up disappointing me. I realized I can actually do it, and it's sometimes worth to take the risk just for the journey.
Well, I think that that was all beautiful, first of all. And again, thank you for sharing your language with us all.
Thank
Despite what people say about it, they don't know nothing. I'll tell you that.
you.
But when you wrote that note, I was like I think I said like I hope it everything ends the way it needs to, or whatever the result needs to be, whatever it needs to be. But I think I had said something about everything is a lesson regardless, or something in the case of that.
Exactly. Hmm.
So I feel like I had a very similar situation where my heart is so fucking stubborn, right? In the way that it needs like so much proof to know that like that person is not the person, right? So
Right.
I had a moment where I met with my ex, and I like with my dog, like it was very like just go for a walk and whatever. And in that short time, my heart finally got enough proof to let that person go. In a very like, okay, literally you have done everything you could and this person can't meet you where you are now, and that's okay. And it was heartbreaking because obviously I adore and love that person, but to come to the realization of you deserve so much more and you're gonna get that and you're not gonna settle this time. It was very interesting. So I do believe I am in the same place with you as learning to trust my heart because sometimes the bitch gets me in trouble, you know?
She does. And I like literally relate so much. It's saying like, how much more space are you gonna give this person to realize that they are not right for you? For my oh my god, I can relate to it at such a high level. Like that's me basically. And I just want to give a bit of a tea, maybe like just to spice things up with it, just a little bit of a gossip. So this like when I followed my heart, it led me in a way that a person that kept disappointing me, as just like the example you gave. And I don't know if you guys like who saw the note that I posted today about someone calling me that I don't have a life and then I am lost. That was him. Like the path that my heart took me led me to that person. But that's like it's all about seeing the person for what really is. And as you said, learning from the experience. There is like a process where you try, and then that process where you try teaches you not to try, not to try. It teaches you to try with the right person and be honest with yourself about that. Because self-deception is really a strong mechanism, and awareness has to be in play for me at least to realize that I am not convincing myself. It's like it actually feels aligned, or whether I am convincing myself that it feels aligned.
Mm. Like I said, I knew just by your writing and even your bio, everything about you spoke to, oh, this woman is very similar to you. So I knew that this conversation was gonna have moments where it was just like, why are you saying my life in public? How did you know that? So again, I have really like I do feel like we probably could talk for like 5 hours and
I will.
people would stay with us and we would engage with everybody. But realistically, that's probably not the right thing to do. But I the amount of joy that this conversation has brought me, I just want to thank you. Like thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for, you know, being so present and so honest with all of us and sharing this space with me. Like guys, women, people, whoever's in here, this was fucking amazing. I just want you all to know. And it wasn't just because of IMI, of course. The chat has been on fire. I can't even keep up with it. I need a moderator or something. Like I feel so bad because I love engaging with the full community in this space, but apparently my brain didn't function today. And that happens. That's okay.
My eyes kept slipping down to the comments. Like, this was like, so you guys are so sweet, and thank you so much for all of you who showed up for us today, and we'll keep showing up for you. We'll always be present, and I love that this format of your podcast where you address your people who comes to see and like just like have them give them their space as well.
Well, I mean, I like to believe that the inner room is a space for everybody. And while the podcast itself is curated 20 questions for my co-host, I know me and you both know how important community is. And
Mhm.
I don't want it to be an exclusive club. It's an inclusive club. I want everybody to feel like they're a part of it. And I love seeing the engagement, and I do genuinely feel horrible that I wasn't able to read every single one of them. Because the shitty thing, and this is maybe something that Substack can fix, we don't get like a transcript of these comments.
That's what I was thinking, by the way.
Yeah, like it fucking sucks. Like once the show is over and I hit end and we all go on our merry way, the replay will be up tomorrow if I remember, but the comments, you don't see them in the replay. You don't get access to them after this. So it's very fucking frustrating, honestly. Substack needs to do better. I wish that they would send me at least a transcript so I can like go back and like message all of you beautiful humans and be like, sorry I didn't get to you, but I really liked what you said here or something. But apparently
Definitely.
we're not that advanced yet. We're not that advanced yet. But holy smokes. Wait, so what my phone's gonna die in a little bit. Are you going somewhere just for drinks? What is the cuisine? I'm always about food.
Yeah, so if any Brits are here, you would also say the same. So I don't think people would get resented. There is not really much of a British cuisine that you could
Right.
say. So like I'm just going out for drinks with my friend. So just generally like here is like you can eat everything from every cuisine in London. I guess like when you order stuff, the most I'm just gonna give the cliche answer. The most British cuisine you can have is fish and chips or no, I love Sunday roasts. Sunday roasts are great. So like um, I haven't had been to that many for me to list the entire menu, but it's like Sunday roasts are nice.
So,
This is
so
like huh.
so is that like a sausage and like a puff pastry type of thing, or what's in a Sunday roll? Explain this
Like
to
it's
me.
like so many things which I love because when I'm having a meal, I like to have like a bits of everything. So it depends. Like if you like, you can have biscuits. I don't remember potatoes, beef or lamb or chicken. You can choose your protein, and then there's like veggies on the side, and then you can have mashed potatoes. So it depends on where you go, but generally you would definitely have a biscuit, roasted potatoes, a protein thing, gravy on top, and then veggies.
Mm. Mm.
Doesn't that sound nice?
So can I ask you, because you're Turkish, is there a Turkish dish that you are a big fan of or know how to make?
I like specifically from Turkish cuisine. I cannot make a good one, but like Turkish cuisine is so great, and I think like most of the world doesn't know the Turkish cuisine for what it really is. They just think we're made of kebab and like grilled stuff and grilled stuff, but we have so many veggie dishes and stuff like that. I'm gonna say the name. It's like it looks like a wrap. It kind of looks like a wrap thing, but like my favorite Turkish dish is lahmacun. It's like a mince in the middle, and it's like a pastry, like just like a wrap bread. Imagine it. But it's way more tasty. I will take you to have one delicious lahmacun with me when you come to London. Or I think maybe New York is better if I come.
You know what's funny is there's a Turkish cuisine place in White Plains, New York that I pick up from all the time, and they do have all the meat on the swords, I call them, because they're fancy, and then they do that like the kebab side, but they have other stuff, and it's just like because it's in words that I don't know, and they don't really like say what it is. I don't know what to order
next time. Send me a picture next time. I will definitely pick out the best selection.
Well, now that I know I have a Turkish connect, I'll definitely be in your DMs like, what should I be eating today?
That's like a question I would be delightfully answering. It's like for whenever.
So the comments are going crazy again, but I love that everybody's joining with food. And somebody had talked about shepherd's pie being English, and it is
true.
I love shepherd's pie. I grew up in a town in the Bronx where it was mostly Irish. So meats and potatoes is definitely a thing that I'm a big fan of. It is.
Me too.
Now that everybody's hungry, I just want to thank IMI again for being here with us. I want to thank everybody in the chat for spending this time with us. Like I tell all my co-hosts, come back, do this again with me. This does not have to be a one-time thing. This can be as often as you want thing. So I look forward to 2026. I am so thankful that I got to kick off December with you. Honestly,
I am so ready.
But I'm ready for 2026, and I expect you to be back in the inner room when that comes. Okay?
Of course, yes, definitely. You already given me a New Year's gift with this. Thank you.
Oh, you're sweet. For everybody else, you've been in the inner room where the conversations go deep, the connections surprise, and the truths linger long after the world quiets down. Until next time, keep listening inward because that's where the stories that shape us really live. I hope you all have an amazing day, night, noon, whatever it is, wherever you are. And thank you for being with us. Bye.
Yes, bye.